Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that might sound a little dry at first, but trust me, it's super important. We're going to be talking about technical SEO audits.
Yeah, audits might not sound like the most exciting thing in the world, but they're seriously crucial for any website that wants to rank well in search results.
Exactly. And to help us break it down, we're going to be drawing on insights from Jesse McDonald. He's a senior SEO director at SEMpdx. And he's been in the SEO game for like a decade, so he really knows his stuff. He's also judged some major industry awards and been named one of the top SEOs to follow by Search Engine Journal. So yeah, we're in good hands.
Oh, absolutely. Jesse's a wealth of knowledge, and he has a knack for explaining complex SEO concepts in a way that actually makes sense.
Right. And one of the things I love about Jesse's approach is how he uses analogies to make technical SEO more relatable.
Totally. Like he has this great analogy where he compares a website to a tree.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. It's a good one.
So the content of your website, like the words and the visuals, that's the trunk and the branches that everyone sees. But for that tree to really thrive, it needs strong roots. And that's where technical SEO comes in.
Yeah, I'm following you. So if the roots are messed up, the whole tree suffers, even if the branches look pretty. But when we talk about roots in terms of a website, what are we really talking about? What kind of things make up technical SEO?
Well, you got to think about how search engines actually see a website. They don't have eyes like we do. They use these things called crawlers, basically little bots that scan your website's code and structure. And technical SEO is all about making sure those crawlers can easily access and understand your site.
So it's like making sure your website speaks the same language as the search engine bots.
Exactly. We want to make sure those bots can crawl through every nook and cranny of your site without getting stuck.
So crawlability is a big part of it.
But it's not just about being crawlable. It's also about how your site is structured, how it's organized, whether it's mobile friendly, how fast it loads. All those behind the scenes elements play a huge role.
Gotcha. So it's not just about what's on the page. It's about the entire foundation of the website.
Exactly. It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation before you can start decorating.
And if that foundation is shaky, that's where an audit comes in, right?
Bingo. A technical SEO audit is like a thorough inspection of your website's foundation. It's a systematic examination of all those technical factors we just talked about.
So we're looking for cracks in the foundation, any structural weaknesses, things like that.
Yeah, and we're also looking at things like your metadata.
Metadata.
Yeah, those snippets of information that describe each page to search engines.
Oh, right.
We're also checking for broken links, analyzing your sitemap, making sure your images are optimized. It's all about getting a complete picture of your website's health from a technical standpoint.
Okay, this is starting to make a lot more sense. But let's be real here. Why should anyone care about all of this? I mean, what's the real impact of having good technical SEO? Is it really worth all this effort?
Oh, it's totally worth it. And Jesse's seen some pretty impressive results firsthand. He's found that just fixing technical SEO issues can lead to a 1.5x increase in monthly traffic.
Hold on, 1.5x, so like a 50% increase?
Yeah, exactly. Just by making your website easier for search engines to understand.
Wow, that's huge. More traffic,
Yeah.
more potential customers, more engagement, more everything, right?
Exactly. But it's not just about getting more traffic. It's about getting the right traffic. You want people who are genuinely interested in what you offer and more likely to become customers or leads.
It's about quality over quantity. It's like if you have a shop on a busy street but the layout's confusing, people might wander in, but they won't find what they need or have a good experience.
Precisely. And a strong technical SEO foundation helps make sure your website is not only visible, but also welcoming and easy to navigate for the right people.
So a technical audit is kind of like making sure our website has good curb appeal and a well-organized interior.
I like that analogy. And just like you wouldn't wait for your car to break down before taking it to the mechanic, regular technical SEO audits help you stay ahead of potential problems and make sure your website's always running smoothly.
So how often are we talking about here? Is this a one-time thing, or do we need to be doing these audits regularly?
Well, Jesse recommends doing them at least quarterly for most websites. That way you're keeping things running smoothly and catching any issues before they become major headaches. And it's also super important to do an audit after you've made any big changes to your website, like a redesign or if you've migrated to a new platform. It's like when you rearrange your entire house. You want to make sure everything's still easy to find afterwards, right?
Yeah, totally. So we've talked about the what and the why of technical SEO audits, but now I'm kind of curious about the how. Like, what are the actual tools people use for these digital checkups?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them out there. But they all basically help us do the same thing. Analyze your website's technical elements. Jesse mentions desktop crawlers like Screaming Frog. It acts like a little digital spider crawling through your entire website and flagging any potential issues.
Screaming Frog, huh?
Mhm.
The name alone sounds kind of intense. But I guess if it can uncover those hidden problems, it's worth braving the digital spiders.
Oh yeah, Screaming Frog is a powerhouse. It gives you a ton of data. But the key isn't just finding the issues, it's understanding what they mean and how to fix them.
Right, so we're not just handing over a giant spreadsheet of errors and saying good luck.
Exactly. That's where having a good SEO expert comes in. Someone who can actually interpret that data and translate it into actionable recommendations.
So it's like having a detective on the case, someone who can piece together the clues and solve the SEO mystery.
I like that. And Jesse actually calls it going down the rabbit hole. Like, for example, it's not enough to just say, hey, you're missing H1 tags on some pages. You need to figure out why those tags are missing. Is it a coding error, a glitch in your content management system, something else entirely? Understanding the root cause helps you recommend the right solutions.
Go down the rabbit hole. I love that. But while we're down there, how do we even know where to start? I mean, with so many potential issues, it can feel kind of overwhelming.
That's where prioritization comes in. You got to focus on the high impact changes, the things that are going to make the biggest difference for your website's visibility and user experience. Like fixing a broken link that's preventing a key page from being indexed is going to have a much bigger impact than tweaking the alt text on a few images, you know?
Okay, so prioritize the big wins, the things that'll really move the needle. But what about communicating all this to clients or stakeholders who might not be as tech savvy? How do you make it all understandable and actionable for them?
That's where clear communication is key. Jesse really emphasizes tailoring the deliverables to the audience. You know, for someone who's not immersed in the world of SEO, a giant spreadsheet of errors might as well be written in hieroglyphics. So you got to translate that technical jargon into clear, concise explanations that anyone can understand.
So it's about meeting them where they're at, not overwhelming them with technical details, but highlighting the key findings and what they need to do to improve.
Exactly. One approach Jesse suggests is creating an executive summary. It basically highlights the key findings and recommendations in plain language, like giving them a roadmap, outlining the path to a healthier, more visible website.
So it's not just about doing the audit, it's about presenting the information in a way that empowers clients to take action.
Yeah.
And I imagine that also involves understanding their specific goals and priorities.
Absolutely. You got to understand what they're hoping to achieve with their website, what their biggest pain points are. By aligning your recommendations with their needs, you can make sure the audit is truly valuable and drives real results for their business.
This is all making so much sense. We've covered the what, the why, and the how of technical SEO audits. And honestly, I'm feeling a lot less intimidated by the whole thing now.
I know, right? It's really not as scary as it sounds once you break it down.
Exactly. It's all about understanding the basics and knowing what to look for.
And the best part is you don't have to do it all alone. There are tons of great tools and resources out there to help you along the way.
Like we talked about Screaming Frog, for example.
Yep. And there are also tons of online guides and tutorials. And of course, if you really want to get serious, you can always consult with an SEO expert.
Right. They can help you dive deep into the technical stuff and come up with a customized plan for your website.
Exactly. So, yeah, no need to feel overwhelmed.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've demystified technical SEO audits and hopefully inspired our listeners to take a closer look at their own websites.
Absolutely. Remember, a healthy website is a happy website.
So true. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
Let me think. Oh, yeah. I'd say just remember that technical SEO is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time fix. You got to keep at it to make sure your website stays in tip-top shape.
It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You don't just work out once and expect to see results.
Exactly. You got to make it a regular habit.
So true. Well, this has been another fantastic deep dive.
It really has.
Huge thanks to Jesse McDonald for sharing his insights on technical SEO audits.
Yeah, he's the best.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. We hope you learned a thing or two.
Yeah.
And that you're feeling empowered to take your website to the next level.
Until next time, happy optimizing.
Yes.